Welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where Jason Chatfield sizzles stuff for the podcast before the podcast even starts.
Sorry.
I've never seen that before. Just then,
Off-air sizzle.
we're sitting here in my flat in we're in New York City and
On the island?
and Jason. Just then, Ashika said, "Hey, do you want to do this thing? Hey, why don't we catch up? We'll all go out. We'll go ice skating on Wednesday at Rockefeller Center. We've got to go and do this appointment. So why don't we go and do that?" And then Jason goes, "I can't from Wednesday till Friday, and you'll find out why when the podcast starts."
To an audience of one.
Thinking that Ashika is going to stick around for this.
Right.
Like she's off. She's going to go and.
She's going to go and live a life like an adult.
She's going to go listen to Hamish and Andy podcasts upstairs.
Go listen to some ideas. And then we're going to crap on about this.
I bumped into Schultz the other day.
You did?
Yeah,
He's a good
Ryan
bloke.
Shelton. Yeah,
Yes.
after
What
the
was he
grand
doing?
final.
Oh.
No, I was in Melbourne, Australia.
Now, yeah, we've had a very brief hiatus because you were in Australia.
I was in Australia.
What were you doing in Australia? You were just over there.
Various things.
All right.
Yeah.
And I was in Portland and I was in Philly. So we had it. Thanks for being patient. We were away. But whatever. We'll do this whenever we like. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm apologising. I need to stop.
Did anyone complain? That's the other thing.
One person.
One person complained.
One comment. I got one comment saying,
that's
"Where
nice.
are you and Dills? I need
Oh,
you as
that's
part of my
nice.
week."
That is one of those things where you're like, that's nice because you like it.
Yeah.
But it's also like, come on,
Come on.
let's not be entitled.
Yeah,
It's
come on.
free.
Plenty of other things to listen to.
Yeah.
Cereal, teacher's pet. Yeah.
Oh, they caught him.
Yeah, go on. Spoiler alert. Yep. All right.
It's not a spoiler alert.
Is it? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I guess they caught him. There you go.
Yeah, they caught him. It's big news.
It was big news. The spoiler
Did
alert.
you listen to the podcast?
Didn't
to
finish it
Teacher's
because
Pet?
spoiler alert. Yep. Go on. Yeah.
Well, here's how it ended.
Okay.
No ending.
Okay.
Then
So
here's
like
what happened.
Serial season
They
2.
gave him an ending. Yeah.
Oh, they gave him an ending.
Yeah,
All
which
right.
was you're going to jail.
Yeah,
Well, you're
alright.
not going to. I don't know if he's being charged.
A lot of American true crime listeners and lovers, but New Yorker cartoonists, in fact, who were obsessed with it, going, "I just love the accent." That's fun.
Do you find that you do this thing? And I was talking to a colleague about this the other day. Is the nature of learning being that the visual will spark the memory of the oral lesson.
Yeah.
So when I'm walking around different parts, it reminds me of things I was listening to on podcasts as I was walking down the street.
100%. Yep.
So there's parts of New York where I walk down where I can't stop thinking about the 1993 AFL season
That's
or
funny.
a grisly murder.
93 AFL
like-
season was Eagles and Sydney.
Wow, you couldn't be more wrong. Wow, keep talking, Sporty Joe.
This is the guy who I tried to say, "Oh, there's all this buzz about the grand final." You're like, the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
It's week 11, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I called a diss track a hate album.
I hate albums.
So,
no, it was
yeah.
it was Carlton Essendon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
93.
93.
Carlton Essendon. All right, Anthony.
West Coast Sydney was 2005.
All right, let me regain some traction here. Anthony Koutafidis, all right, as Rex Hunt used to call him, Anthony Koutafidis. You've got Sticks, you got Greg Williams, you've got a hell of a team, 93.
Yeah,
Carlton.
they
All
got
right.
beaten by Essendon.
Okay, but it was hell of a team. They came back again in 96, didn't they? 97?
95. They won it.
95. All right, well.
96 was Sydney.
Good to be back anyway.
Yeah.
Recording from a secret location
From the
somewhere in
Jock
Manhattan.
Palace.
Jock Palace. Jock
From
Ground
a
Zero.
sports bar.
Sports bar, yeah.
So what are you doing on when you've been sizzling this?
Sizzle. Well, big news is, this year I was cast in a big international commercial.
Yeah.
We're doing another one.
Oh, the
He's
dandruff.
back.
Oh, nice.
Dandruff is back, my friend.
Amazing.
We're doing another one. It was a runaway success. Completely obviously you hope for it, but
So now
another
without talking like dollars and
Sure.
cents, obviously.
a sequel is always,
but
you have a bit more bargaining power.
Well, this is the thing I was going to say. Like, tell me about the ins and outs of getting because there are people in America
Yes.
who have really good careers
Sure.
just doing ads.
Oh, it's insane.
Like, it's not like for our Australian listeners,
Oh.
it's not like there.
The scale is insane.
Where you're
Because in
like-
Australia, you do a 4 and 20 ad, and
Yeah.
it's going national. That means it's going to, 20 million people? Maybe less? I don't know how many.
Just under 25 according to the last census.
Okay. And then in America, the scale is it's insane.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to that many people. That's the state alone. I mean, that's the tri-state area even then. And then you've got the entire country. But then it's something, and then you go international with social, and you go international, and it gets translated into different languages. It's a totally different thing, which means that a product like something like a Kit Kat or a Selsun Blue or something like
As
that.
someone that has done ads for Kit Kat, go on. Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Me and a bunch of other comedians sold out. I think it was me,
No.
Dave Hughes.
How have I
I think
not-
Ronnie did it.
Have we not talked about this?
Why would I talk about it? I got my money. There's no
Funny.
need for me to talk. Are they
That's
going
what
to
I
pay
was
me?
doing in Philly.
Are they going to pay me more? If not, no, I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
It's an NDA.
Pay me more? Yeah, I'll talk about Kit Kats till the cows come home.
Fun
I got a wedding to
fact.
pay for, motherfucker.
Oh, let's get to that in a
I
second.
love your shitty chocolate bar. It's great if you pay me.
They're owned by Hershey in America, but they're owned by Nestle everywhere else in the world. In India, UK, Australia.
interesting.
Yeah, and so that's who I was working for in Philly. I was in Philly working for Kit Kat for 3 days. So I know everything you could tell me about. Anything you asked me about the Kit Kat, I could
Well,
tell
you didn't know I was on the ad.
I didn't know. All right.
So I question your credentials.
All right. Well, don't drop a hate album on me now. So listen.
That's what you call a diss track. We'll come
Okay.
back to that.
So,
Yeah.
dear listeners, you'll be abundantly aware that we're counting down to the Dooley Pratt wedding, the Scott Dooley wedding in New Zealand. It's going to be fun. And
Yeah.
You've gone ashen faced and been like,
I want to know where you're going with this.
So much to
Yeah,
organise.
I don't like talking about myself.
It's very. I know it's odd. It's odd.
It's not. It's completely normal. People that are just talking about themselves are fucking idiots. They are. Think about the times you
excited
think
about
about
your
the time.
wedding.
No, I'm
Very
excited about the wedding
excited.
as well, and
Yeah.
we can talk about it when there's no microphones.
Yeah.
out,
Okay. All right.
As we
yeah.
just were.
Sure.
But these people that are like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. You know why you don't know how you feel? Because you're a fucking idiot and you don't know how you feel. Like, how do you not know how you feel? It's your feelings, you knucklehead. And I'm stuck next to this asshole at every dinner, every work. Do you
Oh
think
my
that was
God.
okay? I don't care.
It's
what are you
like-
doing? That's why I don't like talking about myself.
It's
because
like-
I know how that person sounds.
Amazing. It's like Jerry Seinfeld is an amoeba and he's just divided into an Australian version. And
It's
his
not a Jerry Seinfeld. It's just a
vexations are all
normal
the same.
thing.
You hate that.
I talk to people about my feelings.
Sure.
And I'm not going to. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm
this
very
isn't what we're
excited
talking
about your
I
wedding.
have more questions about the ad
Oh, okay. All right.
and how that works. So they come to you and they say, "We're going again."
Yeah, sequel.
Do you have Are you like, "Hey, here's what I was thinking about this character"? Like, is it like?
I have notes.
No, I'm not being facetious.
No, sure.
It is. It's a character.
It is a character.
It's got its own
Oeuvre.
Yeah.
It's got its own background. Well, okay, there's 2 things that happened that you might not know about after this ad went out. We got a lot of flack from the albinism community. Very, very offended that we decided to depict dandruff, a human bodily, call it a problem, as...
Not a problem when you've got Selsun Blue.
Do you want to do the
I
fucking
right?
ad? You can do it if you want. You nailed it, this guy. Yeah, so they were like, why did you depict an albino as being dandruff? And they're like, well, and then Twitter blew up because it was a white guy. It was a white, cis male, blah, blah, blah. So the male, white, right, these people, they're everywhere.
I think we're running out of things there.
Okay.
If
yeah.
you're worried about dandruff being portrayed by a white guy.
White guy, yeah,
Like,
well,
where was the Indian woman for this job?
That's
Like,
literally.
she wouldn't have
look,
looked
just
good.
check Twitter. It's abominable. Anyway, so at this point, I
Who's
have some notes.
bothering to? Oh, you've got some notes.
The internet. Yeah, well, the notes that I had were because I quite enjoyed
Have
it.
you ever, just before
Yeah.
we go on, have
Yeah.
you ever complained about anything? Like, have you ever sat down and written a complaint?
A
Like,
letter
Or
of
a letter
complaint?
or an email, and not about some shit that's happened to you.
Okay.
Not like, "Dear Sprint Airlines, you said this flight was going to leave this time." I mean, you've seen something
Yeah.
and you've gone, "I've got to tell someone."
See, I'm always at the butt of it because I do a newspaper comic strip. So the
Right.
only time anyone ever tells the comic strip artist anything about the strip is when they feel annoyed about it and decide to write a letter to the newspaper. So I resolve never to do so to anything. Because I've been at the other end of that.
And also, like, your newspaper reader
40
and
to 80.
complainer
Yeah.
is more than likely to write a letter.
Oh, 40 to 80, has a writing desk, probably has stationery and a stamp ready to go. Seldom has enough saliva left to lick an envelope, but has a lot of vitriol. And it all comes out on the page. Even stuff that's not to do with the strip. They'll talk about the war on Christmas. It'll be anything but. It's like, and it'll just be about like, why is he being bullied all the time? He's always upside down in a bloody rubbish can. Why are we talking? And while we're talking about it, why are the mum's arms always crossed? She's a terrible influence on him.
Oh,
I'm like,
right.
why are you? What is this?
Yeah.
Who cares? But then it gets to me.
That's so weird.
So I
40 to
never
80.
write complaint
I'm
letters.
going to be 40 soon.
Oh,
Will I
wow.
start writing?
SS middle age.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, are you the type
But I
to
mean,
write a
fucking
letter?
Kim Gordon's 65.
Well, okay. Well,
You know what I mean? Like, I was reading her book.
yeah.
Oh, so that just for anyone that doesn't know who Kim Gordon is.
Or a book. Go on. Yeah.
He's the bass player from Sonic Youth.
Okay.
And I read her, because you knew that the whole time.
Of course, everyone did. Yeah. I was about to be like, "What are you doing comparing yourself to Kim?" Yeah, the comparison's the thief of joy, Scott. All right, come on then.
No, but that thing of like, you know, you get old. Kim Gordon's my mum's age.
What's the problem with that?
No,
Why?
I'm just saying she wouldn't write a letter to the editor about ginger eggs.
I
But if
disagree.
Kim Gordon did, I'd be
Yeah.
like, it's time to reassess.
Oh.
That's when you know, like,
Yeah.
and that's how there should be a thing where you're like,
Okay.
hear me out.
All right.
It might be a bit Black Mirror.
Go on then.
We give everyone a cool chip, right? Now, if you get a cool chip, and we'll assess it. I don't know, me and some other people.
Oh, just you?
choose. Just no, me and a couple of other
All right,
people.
The committee of cool.
Me, DJ Premier.
All right.
He's cool.
Yep. Okay. Yep. From Astoria.
So it's
Yep.
me, Primo from Queens.
Yep.
Action Bro.
That's a quorum.
Did I tell you?
Did you have an
Have I
Action
told-
Bronson
have I
sighting
told-
in
I
Tribeca?
had a much bigger
No.
action. Cut that out.
Okay.
Where we live.
Okay. Yeah. No, you didn't mention it.
Have I told you this?
No. Right.
That
yeah.
my friend. Did I tell you this last podcast? we did?
No. It's been a few weeks.
That Duncan, my buddy.
Dunk, yeah,
was
I know
like,
Dunk.
I was like, oh, we have this thing on the podcast, Action Bronson, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, that's really funny. You know, he lives in my building.
Stop it.
I know
Stop
where
it.
Action Bronson lives.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
He lives in Dunk's building.
He used to. Duncan moved out.
What is going on? So this is not. We thought it was someone who looked like Action Bronson. Then we realized no, it actually is
was
Action
Action
Bronson.
Bronson.
It was actual Bronson, and now we know. We have verification.
And he bought the house. It was Auction Bronson.
I think we have an episode title, my friends. Happy holidays. It's Auction Bronson. Wow.
Yeah.
That's astounding.
So let's go back to the ad before we get into some
if we
jokes.
do. All right. Okay.
So what are your notes?
My notes are he goes a lot into falsetto. First of all, Carl, that's a lot of energy for 110 takes. All right, so I
Right.
said, can we bring it down a notch? I also said I'm absolutely
an introspective dandruff
not.
flake.
A little dandruff. Come on, I'm a little snowflake. So then I've also got the fact that I'm absolutely refusing to bleach my hair this time. I bleached my hair last time and it was a nightmare. It took 9 months to repair, and I've got so many more greys now on the back of that.
Why?
Because it damaged my scalp. You know what? Colouring your hair is not good for you. It's bad for you.
Right.
And my eyebrows. So they are going to have to do the eyebrows, but they're looking at a wig maker who did hair and makeup last time. We're looking to make an equivalent wig to make it look the same.
Because I saw a movie. I saw the
Da Vinci
Fantastic
Code.
Beasts. I saw Da Vinci Code, and
Yeah.
boy, am my arms tired. I
That's a very funny joke.
I
That's a very
actually
funny
think
joke.
it's a variation. I think it's a Tom
Quite
Ballard.
a funny joke.
I think Tom Ballard had a similar joke to that. So I don't know if I maybe nicked the joke.
Okay, all right.
But
By the way, just shout out to Sean McAuliffe, who at the Actors, I think, went, I'm actually the host of a show called Newstopia, which is the comedy version of The Weekly.
oh wow,
Real diss track.
Jesus.
Massive diss track.
or as you would call it, a hate
I'm
album.
sorry, keep going.
So,
Yes.
what was I talking about?
You were on the track talking about... I've literally just dropped
Nobody
the thread.
knows.
I just dropped the thread. Why do we have a producer if we can't?
What are you doing?
We've dropped the thread. Okay. We've dropped the thread. No, okay. So
I watched a
Ballard
movie.
Joe.
No, your hair. I watched a movie.
yeah.
And
Fantastic Beast and
It
Where
was
to
a
Find Them.
Fantastic Beast.
Okay.
And Johnny Depp has this bleached hair that looked a bit like yours.
Johnny Depp's
And
in
I
that film.
thought that looks. I could do that with my hair. After this wedding, I'm doing some crazy hair.
Don't do it,
things.
man. I'm telling you.
I'm
It screws up your scalp. You start a podcast with a friend. It's a whole
no.
thing.
I'm okay. I'm
Really?
good. Yeah.
Oh, dude. A lot of people did say when I got it done, they're like, oh my God, keep it, please. And I was like, there's no way I'm keeping this. Even the eyebrows. I'm not keeping any of it.
Is it true that you were offered the role?
Yeah.
They said you're gonna have to dye your hair.
Yeah.
You said no. I can't
said no.
do it. You said no to the role.
Flat out.
Then your wife saw how much they were offering you and said, "You get in there and dye your hair, you little bitch."
No, she called me a pussy.
Pussy.
She said, you effing pussy.
You fucking pussy.
And then I told my manager's assistant, I go, listen, just for what it's worth, my wife just said, go in and do it, you effing pussy. And she goes, we'll book you in for Wednesday.
I did think it was cruel though when people saw you and your wife walking down the street when you had the dyed hair.
Yeah.
And they'd say, "Oh, looks like Sophie got her asshole bleached." No, that was a bit much.
It was a bit weird getting arrested out the front of the embassy in London, but hey, that's what happens. Ecuadorian embassy.
All right.
all
Let's
right.
get into some jokes.
You've got some crackers.
I don't know. Listen, I've had some ideas.
Oh, don't talk yourself down. Come on.
Okay.
What have you got? What have you got?
This is an idea. Now, I wanted to run this through your filter, the kind
Okay.
of, and maybe Ellis will get in touch with us.
Ellis J. Rosen. There it is. Anyway, go
Who's
on.
had a joke on CNN?
CNN. Congratulations.
cartoons
The
was
snowball
put on
of chief of staff cartoons.
CNN was milk
Yep.
being upset that no one cries over it. Like,
Okay.
like the idea of milk, maybe milk is on a psychiatrist's couch going,
Yeah.
listen, I don't want a big thing, but I mean, maybe
What if-
shed a tear every time I spill, or I don't know, like the idea that milk is really like,
Okay, what if it's this? What if it's milk? You know I love a psychiatrist cartoon.
yes.
What if it's milk on the couch
Yeah.
and the psychiatrist is handing it a box of tissues? There's no caption. It's just a psychiatrist handing a bottle of milk a box of tissues.
But isn't the same?
Because you don't want to say,
nobody cries over spilt
yeah.
milk.
So it's a bit SS to have the caption, well, no use crying about it.
No, but the milk wouldn't cry over it. Like I think it's milk
But it's a half-empty bottle
being
of milk.
upset that no one cried over him.
What if there's a puddle on the floor? It's clearly been spilled.
Yeah,
Oh,
but why
no,
would
it's
the
crying.
milk be crying? The milk doesn't cry. The milk
Well,
gets spilt.
In this analogy, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's good. I had to work that one out in my
Yeah,
brain.
no, I'm glad we went
Yeah,
through that.
good.
No, but
Yeah.
I do understand what you mean. I do like that
You
idea.
know I
of-
love anthropomorphizing.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of the cartoon.
Yeah, I like it. No
And
use.
maybe it's actually the psychiatrist laying down some tough love. Like, you're just going to have to accept that no one's going to cry over you.
Oh, boy, that's deep.
Kind of dark.
It's dark. I know, but I like that. And they've been running some dark stuff lately. And I quite like that. I'm just going to do it.
Didn't I text you one that was so dark we could never... I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah, but many of those, I'm like, I have to draw it just to get it out, though. We have, and we'd never say them on the pod, but there's some that we go, well, we could never publish that, but I have to draw it just to get it out. Because there's an ongoing thread of jokes that we're constantly, is there something in this throughout the week? And
They're always Ruth Bader Ginsburg topless, to be fair. So we could never publish
Yeah, I've got a
it.
GIF now that I just use every time. But it is interesting to see where it goes. And there are ones that will never be never see the light of day, but will very much show up on my drawing board and then be scrunched up and thrown in the bin just to get them out of my brain. They're mostly by you.
I've got
Yeah.
a habit of that.
Yeah.
The one of someone saying to their spouse, who looks really frazzled,
Okay.
like they're just fried.
Love it.
You've been reading the comments again, haven't you?
Did we talk about this on your Bucks night?
I think we might have. Yeah.
Okay. We went out on your Bucks night. Great night, by the way. I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
We were talking about the fact that I was in Portland shooting a commercial Clang again.
Oh, that's right. That's how this started. That's where
Yeah.
this joke came from.
I think this is where you got the
yeah,
idea.
absolutely. Yeah.
And it was a commercial for a company I'd done a commercial for before, and it had done very well, and it went up all over the world. But then, of course, they put
You
it
played a
in.
hemorrhoid, right?
Of course, yeah. I was Captain Piles, yeah, and Captain Piles, and they said they were shooting it, and then there was the director of photography and the gaffer were with the director. And they were just talking, sort of cracking wires and whatever. And I was sitting there, and they were doing the lighting tests and all this sort of stuff, and the mic guys checking levels. And while they're all on a set, you have this kind of hum of conversation. Everyone's talking about their own little esoteric little bits of business. But then the DP goes, "Oh, did you see the YouTube video of last time?" Just to get a reference for the lighting. And the director goes, "Yeah, whoa, the comments though, wow." I'd never looked because I don't look at the comments. I never look at the comments.
Why would they?
And he goes, and I don't know if I was meant to hear it, but the director goes, "Oof, those comments, jeez." And so I'm like, "What was that? What was that?" And he goes, "Did you see that you saw the comments on the last one, right?" And I was like, no. And so between takes, I've got my phone and I looked at the comments.
Why?
Oh my God.
Who was
what is the
commenting on
matter
this?
with people? YouTube comments, and you and I have sold a New Yorker cartoon that hasn't run in the New Yorker yet.
It hasn't run yet.
About YouTube comments.
I forgot that. Yeah.
But wow. Some people are just savages.
It's also that thing of it goes like it's the third comment.
Is about Hitler.
It's
Yeah. I don't know how it gets there, but it gets there.
Yeah.
There's a theory about
So were the
it.
comments like about you, or were they?
They started about me.
And then they just turned into.
Devolved.
And this is why Hillary Clinton could never be.
But her emails. It devolves into whatever their little bugbear
How many
is.
views did it have?
Millions.
Right.
I mean, it went to Korea, Japan, China, but then also all over the Americas,
Sure.
South America, Central
What
America.
can you say what it was for?
No.
Oh,
I can't.
okay.
But I must say, I did have to say my actual name in the ad. So it was very much a personal endorsement of the product.
Right.
Not so much me playing a character this time, but
Right.
actually endorsing a product. Which
Hi, I'm Jason Chatfield.
Right.
A human hemorrhoid.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what you
pretty much
said.
it. That's exactly what I said. Hi, I'm Captain Emerald.
I'm Captain Hemorrhoid.
Which is my...
But you might know me better as Jason Chatfield.
Actually,
New Yorker
no.
Cartoonist.
Jason Chatfield's a non-plume. So it was really enlightening to look at the comments and go, "Oh, that's what this is." I never looked at... See, YouTube has a comment section, like a notification section. And I never had the app. I never go to YouTube for that. And so then I realized...
You're just there on a fruitless hunt for tits.
Of course I am. But then, the thing is, it's not on my channel, so I don't get notifications of it. And I'm not going to go hunting for it.
No.
So it's on their channel.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so the comments are a whole thing, hence us selling the cartoon about it.
Yeah.
But a frazzled man...
And that idea of like you've been because you can get stuck into
It's a loop.
And I get like I find myself like, all right, I have to find out more about this person, particularly on Facebook things. And Facebook's better for people are like, so I suppose you people would be happier if blah 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 had happened, and then blah 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 wouldn't happen, and blah 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 blah.
It's a lot of that.
I go into their thing and I'm like, holy shit, this is full on.
Right.
Like I had 4 tabs open this morning when I woke up, which was these guys that had found a skateboarding video.
Yeah.
Because I follow a lot of skateboarding things because I'm an adult.
Just enjoying that Jonah Hill film. Yeah.
And this guy was doing just some nice kind of rail kind of things, and this bloke just wrote in like, yeah, well, I mean, maybe if you had respect for other people's property. That was all he wrote.
Really?
And then all these like skateboard dudes are like, why are you following a skateboarding thing, man? That guy was shredding and blah, 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 blah.
What was his
But I
profile
went
name?
onto his
At
profile.
Get Off My Lawn?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
But he was just an old guy that
Yeah.
saw it and got angry and wrote something.
See,
and
that's
then-
where the algorithm's a little bit smart because it knows that the virality of it is based upon people who don't love it, but also the people who hate it.
100.
That is definitely what's going on.
And this guy had all these like, would you like to join the NRA? You can ask me now and all
Whoa.
this stuff. Yeah, no, he was full on texting.
Really?
Yeah.
These are the people that you tend to interview at rallies for things.
I'm drawn to these folks.
You really are, and it terrifies
Well,
me.
because like, without getting too kind of
Sure.
deep on it, these people exist, and they call us these people that live in these liberal little
Bubbles,
enclaves or
yes.
whatever it might be.
Self-confirmation bias bubbles.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. And it's important for us to have a chat and be like,
Yeah.
why do you like? And I'm I mean this is a question without prejudice.
Yeah.
Why do you like shooting shit?
Well,
Can I go with you? I want to see what that's like. And am I going to be like, you know what, everything's different?
can I tell you something? Have you been to a shooting range?
No, have I? No, I don't think so.
In America or Australia?
Not in America, no.
In Australia, though, probably.
Potentially in Australia, yeah.
I've only been to one, and it was in Perth, in Western Australia. And it was just pistols. And they're not even like, in America, it's a free standing pistol. In Australia, it's on like this weird like rail thing. You can't even take the pistol off the rail. It's like a whole thing. It's all controlled. But I shot a gun for the first time in Perth, and I went, oh, I get it. Okay.
I had that feeling
And
with
then
opioids. I don't think I'm going to have it with a gun.
No, but then I went, yeah, but nah. So that was my thing. I was like, oh, I get
Right.
it. Yeah, but nah. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm going out to buy a gun.
That was like me with opioids as well. I was like, I
Yeah, but
completely understand how Elizabeth Taylor died,
but I'm not.
Nah.
Yeah. And I was
Well,
like,
maybe we'll see the script
no,
through.
but it really helped me to understand those people who really find it's a great vocation. They love it so much. And I'm like, oh, I get it.
This is the thing. But then that whole...
It's
I
yeah.
also want to spend time with people to go, so you enjoy making the sonic boom noise.
The noises,
Which I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah,
I get that. That's amazing.
Yeah, the
That's kind
recoil.
of controlling science.
Totally.
I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Is that more important to you
Are you married to the swastika?
than a kid being shot
Right.
in the face? Like
That's where
that's
I'm-
to me. That's
yeah.
to me. That's the
Right.
the interest.
This is where you're intrepid, and I would never interview those people. Yeah.
Why not? Why?
I mean, I'm fascinated by their psyche, but I would never go to them in person and ask them because
For fear of something?
not
or that
necessarily
you would
fear.
say something.
I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah. No, I do.
I don't trust myself.
No.
I'm 3 stages away. This is why I don't read the comments. I'm 3 steps away from going, come on, mate. What's the matter with you? Like, you're very curious, but you're also you're more like, you're a journalist, really. You have the ability to stay.
Ooh, let's not throw the...
All right, yeah, I'm
there's
sorry.
actual journalists
Don't want to
doing
throw the
actual
J
proper
word
work.
around. My bad. But, you're able to stay objective. I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I think I
There's
editorialize too much.
so much. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast with you or just where
Right.
when we were looking for apartments, we were dealing with brokers. And it was a conscious decision.
You almost certainly mentioned this on the podcast.
It was a conscious decision of me not to start every sentence with listen.
Like you own a casino.
Yeah.
Listen.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing when you're
Yeah.
interviewing those kinds of people
Sure.
the first question you want to ask is it's seriously
funny.
like, so the
Yeah.
questions that I ask are always
Yeah.
questions kind of 3 to whatever.
totally.
Because the first was, what are you doing, sir?
Yeah. Right.
No, seriously, what are you doing?
Give him some
then,
rope.
And then I'm into, so you came down here
Yeah.
to the anti-gun rally with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Is it on YouTube, your stuff that you've done? with that?
Yeah, I think
If you type in
kinda.
Scott Dooley rally, I'm sure some stuff will come up and you'll
Yeah,
see Scott
plus
at
my
his,
ill-fated cult.
you'll see
We had a
Scott-
rally.
Scott at his finest. Now,
Uh,
what else you got this week?
This is a guy in a courtroom,
Okay.
classic courtroom,
Classic.
Senate thing, defendant standing up, saying, you say repeat offender, I say go-getter.
This is the ongoing 2018 series of Scott Dooley's several defendants saying, you say X, I say Y. I love this
This is
series.
our job interview template. You know what I mean? Like, what's the worst thing you
Where
could
do you
say
see
to
yourself
the
in 5
magistrate?
years? You say X, I say Y.
Yeah.
It's one of the great jokes, but it is always that guy. Does he have sunglasses on?
Maybe.
Inside.
I mean, dealer's choice.
100%. I'm drawing him with sunglasses and maybe an earpiece.
And maybe
You know-
suit with sleeves pushed up, Miami Vice style. Like he's a coke dealer.
It's a Coke deal and maybe pinstripes. But then, definitely Bluetooth earpiece. I love it. No, I'm just going to draw that up. That's beautiful. I
This
love
is my Outback Steakhouse pick of the week.
it. Ooh, big call.
2 guys playing chess.
All right.
They're both sat there, and all the table is set for the game. It's not. I'm sure that chess people are very annoyed at me saying the table is set.
I think they're
because
annoyed
that's
that you
more a
called
culinary
them-
term.
Pretty sure you called them chess people, but go on.
Chess people.
Yeah.
So the table is ready. No moves have been made.
Yeah.
One person it's two dudes. One dude is not wearing a shirt. And the caption is, and one of the people is like, is shirts versus skins necessary?
That's great. No, I love that.
That's a joke, right?
That I feel like
Has that been done?
no, I almost feel like it's almost like I thought I saw that and then I realized no, I wish I saw that. It's like there's certain cartoonists who do such great cartoons. You're like, how I missed that.
How did
one,
we all
mate.
miss that? That's the Ellis has that.
Ellis has that.
Ellis has that.
Every
in
single
spades.
Ellis
You're
Joe
like,
Rosen
How
cartoon,
did
yeah.
we miss that great joke?
Right.
It was
And
like
that's great. That's a great joke. That's funny. It's visual. It's got a great tag. You don't know what it's going to be. In fact, it would make a great caption competition.
yeah.
Two guys playing chess.
Well, do we get paid for that?
Yeah.
No, in that case,
Yeah.
sell it.
Yes. No,
So-
that's great. I love that. Great.
I've got a couple that I thought we could kind of talk about.
Okay, all right.
This was one. Actually, this isn't one of them. Just
All right, okay.
This is another one, which is a guy saying to another guy, "No, being racist has always been racist."
Okay.
Because people are like, what? So X is racist now? You're like, bro, no,
Right.
that's racist.
Yeah.
That's like,
There's a real. Do you know what? There's so many layers to this now, and the New Yorker is guilty of fanning this flame.
Yeah.
That whole there's a whole undercurrent of the Jordan Peterson set and
such a
the
weird-
Charles Murray set about IQ and race and the Sam Harris versus Charles, not versus, plus Charles Murray set. And everyone's going, also now this is racism? Also now. And their Facebook groups, their hate groups, their Twitter
but the way they
groups,
do it as well is they're like,
it's
oh,
hilarious.
They're like, oh, so mispronouncing a French rhyme, that's racist?
Right.
And next you'll be telling me that not being able to speak fluent Italian is racist. And then all of a sudden, I start
Yeah.
burning a cross outside a black person's house and it's racist. It's
Racist?
like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Well, now there was a line crossed,
A line.
but
Yeah.
you lump it all into the one thing.
Right. And so people find these because people are complaining about that there's no lines of distinction between certain infractions socially and politically anymore, certainly along racial and gender lines. And it's really a delicate line to tread because it is constantly moving and it's like the space-time continuum. You don't know what you're going to hit when. So there's these people who don't have, dare I use the word perspicaciousness, to understand where we're at in 2018. And they'll
Yes.
drop a thing from a Rodney Dangerfield act in 2000. I probably died in 95. But they'll go, oh, what, that's offensive now? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
It is.
we've moved
Yeah,
on.
it is.
It
Yeah.
is offensive now.
Yeah.
And I'm the first person to call an audience on being hypersensitive, but there are certain things where you go, come on, mate. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
You know that's offensive. You're trolling now.
So I kind of like that as
Yeah.
an idea.
Yeah.
That person.
Totally. I love that. I think...
Well, what if it's even them doing something really racist, like lighting the cross in
So
the
I suppose
KKK?
this is racist
So
now?
this is racist now?
We can keep that caption and keep drawing different cartoons for it and just keep pitching it and going, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Because it's a part of an ongoing conversation. And 2019, dare I say, is going to be a hotbed of these kinds of conversations.
No, I think it's finished now.
Oh, it's done? We solved
We'll
it?
see who. I'll meet you
bo-
back here in 365 days.
So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ball drops in Times Square. Racism solved. We can move on. Now we can talk about the...
Everyone's like rubbing their eyes. Like they're woken up.
What happened? Oh, now onto the albinism thing. All right, go on.
Okay, so these two I wanted to talk about as ideas.
Yeah.
One I think has been done.
Okay.
Jellyfish being spineless.
Oh, yeah, you pitched this before.
We've talked about
As
this.
a vague kind of...
Just as an idea, like the
formless,
idea
yeah.
of like
Yeah. Weak-willed jellyfish.
like the idea that like maybe he's not going to get into
Maybe
a shootout.
might-
Like I always knew you were spineless. Anyway, the other one,
Maybe the swing voters.
the other one that I wanted to kind of get your ideas upon.
Yes. Once again, Scott's fiance Ashika makes the sound of a butterfly in the wind, and Scott is triggered. Incensed. Anyway,
So
yes.
this was one is we had this for it was something about like feeling old. I can't remember what the original thing was.
Run it by me. What is it?
This is what I've got now. It's someone at the door of the apartment. People are coming over.
Okay.
Wife or girlfriend or whatever lying on the couch in just tracksuit pants, like seamless or whatever around it. And the guy's going, it's not good. Her favorite band was just admitted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh my god!
Because that just happened to me.
Oh, who was it?
Radiohead just got
No, really?
Yeah.
What Hall of Fame? Which
the Rock and
Roll
Roll
Music Hall of Fame.
You know the one with Hall and Oates.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
You know how I've
Scott.
got a Radiohead tattoo?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, dude. That's awful. I'm sorry. Can I do anything? Can you want me to call
You
someone?
can give me a new favorite band.
Oh boy.
Because I told you all my favorite bands that I find now. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, these guys are really hot. This is a good band. And
Yeah.
then I looked them up and they broke up
They
in
broke up.
2012.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take solace in the fact that
Actually,
Yeah.
let's go through. I want to see what
Okay.
my Spotify.
what for 2018 your playlist.
Yeah.
And everyone has been talking to me and sharing these with me. And you mentioned this when you were on the plane home from Australia. You were talking about the fact that everyone is sharing their Spotify
Yeah,
playlist.
there was something in that. Yeah.
There's a big movement of people showing, here's what I listened to the most in 2018. I looked at mine, I was embarrassed, and I didn't share it. But, you have gym tracks, playlists that you listen to. A lot of Akadaka. Anyway, so there's
Really?
like tons of Akadaka.
He's such a bogan.
I
aren't you?
know. You can take the boy out of Karratha. So there's one of these things where every single person in my, say, Facebook feed, serves me right for looking at my Facebook feed, was just sharing their Spotify playlist, their tracks of 2018. And good on Spotify for figuring out that people just want to tell everyone about music.
Yeah.
And-
Absolutely.
And it's great. And listen, I'm a huge Radiohead fan. And the fact that they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, bit insensitive.
Here are my top songs.
Go on then.
Okay. Ghost Town by Kanye West.
Great. Fantastic.
Tokyo Drift by Mallrat.
Yep.
She's like a cool
No,
Brisbane girl.
No, I'll get you.
I'll Believe in Anything by Wolf Parade.
Okay.
That came out in 2005.
Yeah, it did.
Center by Quarterbacks. Quarterbacks is like this cool
I know.
Poughkeepsie band.
I know the quarterbacks. Yeah. That's so funny.
Undercover of Darkness by The Strokes.
Oh!
Everything is Borrowed by The Streets.
Okay.
Speech to Bell from a record that won the Mercury in 2010.
Wow.
Elliott Smith, Lost Under Heaven, La Dispute, Beastie Boys.
Beasties are great. What's wrong with the Beasties?
Yeah, but it's not new cool stuff.
No, but why are you obsessed
Vampire
being on
Weekend,
the
Danny Brown,
vanguard?
Heems and Despot, Radiohead,
Yeah.
James Brown, Vitamin String Quartet, Sigur Rós, Death Cab
Mate.
for Cutie. What am I doing?
Death Cab for Cutie. Listen, all right. You think
West
that's
Coast
embarrassing?
pop art experimental band.
Oh, come on. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I'm
It's like a Wes Anderson film. this thing.
I was born 40, right? So
Yeah, you were.
my top songs for 2018 are Stardust by Jerry Mulligan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Good Morning Heartache by Scott Hamilton Trio. I mean, come on. What are we doing? And then the embarrassing, the ones in your gym playlist, like something like Portugal, like Feel It Still, stuff like that.
What's that? I've never heard of that.
Bit of Justin Timberlake out of the blue.
JT.
Bit of JT out of nowhere.
Not funny. Just has famous people laugh, so now he thinks he's funny.
Precisely.
This is the thing.
Lot of-
if a famous person laughs,
Yeah.
you're not funny. That doesn't mean you're funny. It doesn't mean you're not funny.
No, but that's a good rule of thumb.
It does, but
It's pretty
don't think, oh, I'm a comedian now.
Oh.
I made Jay-Z laugh at this thing. No.
No, but that's Kevin Hart's entire career. Also, I looked at
Take that,
Classic.
Nearly Oscars host.
Clang. Whoops. Sorry about that tweet mining. Bit of Powderfinger as well.
Oh,
Surprising amount of
keeping it
Powderfinger
Australian.
and Akadaka. Anyway, all right.
All right.
Sorry to get off track.
So that kind of idea, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. It does date someone. What if we use the one that we didn't sell, which is the girl on the couch with the wine and the seamless and the everything saying define busy, and we replace it with I can't leave the house.
Can I change the way that looks?
Oh, always. Yeah.
Because her leg is up and it looks like she's just sending a picture of a vagina via.
Christ, I didn't even think about that. Yes, okay. Yes, you can. She's in Lululemon's.
I know, but that's just when I looked at it, I was like,
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
have a look at it.
Oh,
See if you see
I
it.
never see.
See
It's
if
like
you
a
see
magic eye picture. Some cartoons. People see in it, as we've learned in 2018. People see in a New Yorker cartoon what they want to see.
Yeah. Thanks, Reese Witherspoon.
Haven't we had quite a year of that?
Thanks, Real Housewife of wherever the hell you're
Good
from.
God.
All right, you got some jokes?
All right. Oh yeah, I've got some. You want me to?
Yeah, I
want to
hear your jokes.
Let me to drop some sweet jokes. All right. So here's one. Is there something in this? There is an idea of. All right. Let me just run this caption past you, and you can tell me how it works.
Right.
You're having a wedding. It's
Yes.
it's a destination wedding.
Yep.
You mentioned one of my favorite phrases. One of two of my favorite phrases. The first one was, "We love your kids, but they're not welcome at the ceremony." The second one was, "Your presence is our presence." I think something like
Yeah.
that. And I love that saying because it's on every invitation now, every wedding invitation.
Yeah.
And what about this? Your presence is your presence. Except Dale. Dale should definitely get us something.
Oh, I really like that.
I don't know what Dale did, but Dale should
You know,
definitely
Dale's my
get us
mother's
something.
name.
What?
My mum's name is Dale. Why did you choose Dale?
Because I was like Glenn, Craig.
Dale's my mum's name.
It started with Glenn, then I went to Craig, and I settled on Dale.
Well, I can tell you that at this wedding, that we are having, there's going to be a Dale, Glenn, and a Craig.
Oh my! I'm gonna draw this up. If we sell this,
Except Dale, I think that's great. Wait,
Dale.
so-
I mean the male Dale. D-A.
no, yeah. That's my mum's name, Dale. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it might have been from the castle. I don't know what it was.
yeah.
And it was just because you're listen, and it's so like listen. Your presence is our presence. Don't except Dale.
Except Dale.
Dale should definitely get us something. Like I don't know what he did, but it's definitely bad. He should definitely. He really. Dale should get us something. Is it the invitation or is it in person? Is it the MC?
I
Is
think
it
it's
the best
as
man
people.
speech?
I think it's as people are coming
into the wedding,
and there's a sign like
there's a cake, there's a thing,
and you
there's
know
a
the sign like
sign.
instead of where the table is.
Yes.
And then
That's
maybe
it.
there's one guy in a bad suit.
Yeah.
Like, if
Dale's
it was
in the background.
Colour, it's powder blue.
Yeah.
And he's got a
Oh,
thing.
fuck, I'm gonna have to change my suit.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. No, I just thought it was really funny the idea that just like
I do like that.
Stop
Yeah,
it. Except
yeah.
fucking Dale.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one. 2 tomatoes.
Go on.
They're in a marriage counselling session with a priest. Sorry to trigger you here.
Jesus Christ.
I've got both of you in
Yeah.
the room when I'm
Yeah,
pitching
yeah.
this one. And the caption is, "Let's call the whole thing off." It's 2 tomatoes.
Oh, I don't mind that.
It's 2 tomatoes in the therapist. No, it's not really a therapist's office. It's more the actual, the pre-marriage counselling thing that a lot of religious couples do. They have to talk to the priest before they get married, before the celebrant.
As a bloodthirsty heathen, no. Which is hard because you can't do that without giving them eyes and a mouth, and then it's really cartoony.
If you do, it's creepy. If you do an Ed Steed and just give them, like there was a pumpkin painting at one stage.
No, it's terrifying.
And he goes, "Well, is it good or good for a pumpkin?" Which is one of my favorite jokes. One of my favorite jokes of all time.
That is so funny.
Isn't it great?
Oh, what a joke.
Edward Steed. And it's one of a plethora of killer jokes that he just.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine what's in his back catalogue?
Tears.
He's literally
I
crying.
have tears. That is.
And if you saw the pumpkin, you'd laugh again.
Oh my God, that's such a good joke.
If you
Is there any evidence,
listener,
and this
Google "good for a pumpkin" and you'll begin to cry.
It's
a pumpkin with
good.
eyes. It's
That's
so,
so good.
great. It's amazing. Yeah.
Is there any evidence that Ed Steed isn't Slender Man? That's
don't
such a
think
good
there is.
joke.
I love it. Ed Steed, if you guys haven't, Ed Steed, just Google Ed Steed.
He's the best.
You're welcome.
He's
We talked about it last episode. He drew me, and it was the least flattering caricature and the most honoured I've ever been to be drawn in my life. Is there anything in this? Physical unsubscribe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so every single email you've ever accidentally subscribed to or subscribed to and regretted it, there's always an unsubscribe link. Is there a conversation at a dinner party or otherwise where it's like physical unsubscribe? And you're literally depicting the physical unsubscribe. You were really into it. It's a group of people.
What if it's this? If it's at the dinner party,
Yeah.
and it's someone saying, "Oh, don't bother, Michael's left the conversation."
Well, okay, so we did the in-person.
We did that?
Matthias has left the conversation.
That's right.
Real world group chat. It was.
Oh, yeah,
They're all
yeah,
on
yeah.
bing bags for some reason. Yeah. I just can't let go of the idea of a real world digital conversation leaving. Real world physical unsubscribe. Real world. I think
it's
has
a
left the
great
conversation.
idea.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to execute it though. It's been keeping me awake at night. I don't know what is in there, but there's something in that. I'm sure someone's going to submit a suggestion about it now and go, "Oh, I've got it."
What if it's someone like getting breathalyzed, and the cop is saying, "Sir, you can't say unsubscribe."
That's pretty great. That's funny. That's
Like
great.
that
No,
kind
that's
of
amazing.
Trying to get out of something.
What
you
if it's
don't-
jury duty? What if it's
Yeah.
someone on a jury?
Yeah.
And it comes down to one person.
Yeah.
Dale, you're not allowed to unsubscribe,
you
mate.
can't
You
just-
need to enter
I think
a
it's like you can't just say unsubscribe.
You can't just say
unsubscribe.
That's great. That's a caption that we can just use, and if it gets rejected, you keep throwing different scenarios of the same caption. I love that. Guilt tipping. Sophie got into
we've got to do this whole thing. So
Okay.
What date is it?
It's
December the 16th.
December 16th. Okay.
We moved into this place. We've got to fucking tip the super.
No. Christmas tip. Okay, so for the people who don't realize, what do you mean, you people? Oh God, I'm going to be annihilated. So in New York, if you have a doorman, or a super, at Christmas time, you have to tip the doorman for everything throughout the whole year. You don't tip him through the whole year unless he moved in or moved out. And it is a tradition. You tip the doorman, you tip the super.
What did the doorman have to say?
And I have a friend who's a comedian / doorman in the Upper West Side. He makes all his money in December. Really, he makes the lion's share of his money in
Can
December.
I just change that person's job title to
doorman.
doorman who does comedy?
Who does open mics. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you're a comedian, you're not a doorman. But it's one of those things that is a tradition. Now, you've just moved in at Christmas.
Yeah.
Are you doing a year's worth of tipping in 1
I
month?
think so. We're kind of complaining.
What are you complaining about? Are you going to get evicted
See
for
this
complaining?
door? See our front door here?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a thing underneath it.
Wait, is
Yeah,
sound
that's-
getting out?
Huh?
Is sound and wind getting out?
Yeah. People have heard this whole conversation.
That's no good at all.
No.
Oh my God.
Particularly
We've got
your-
the dollop
particularly
recording
your-
next door.
I know. Firstly, the guys from the Dollop do live next door, and they're furious because they're trying to record a podcast right now. Secondly, your Jordan Peterson praise.
Praise. Good God. So, guilt tipping. Sophie got it. We had a holiday party last week, and it was great. It was the National Cartoonist Society Manhattan chapter. It was massive. Society of Illustrators. Everyone was there. The biggest names in cartooning were there. Quite the party. Afterwards, we had a nightcap and a big after party. At
Funny that someone who has regularly contributed to the New Yorker
Wasn't
Mad Magazine
invited.
wasn't invited. That's
Yeah.
funny. But go on.
Yeah, there was
I'm
a
sure
sign
that's
at the door.
perfunctory to this yarn.
Did you not see the no doolies allowed on the door? Pratt's allowed, no doolies.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where
It's a nice font this year.
it is solid font. It's Georgia. So I went in and went to the old after party. And at the after party, got a little bit sozzled because I could finally let my hair down. So
Your
afterwards,
dyed
my
hair.
bleached hair.
Your bleached straw-like hair.
Ruined hair. And so I ordered a Juno, which is like an Uber but cheaper. And I punched it into the phone. Sophie went out the front and she sat in the back seat of the car with all of our bags and all of our stuff, right?
Sure.
We'd come straight from Philly to this party.
Oh, right,
We went
right,
straight
right.
from Penn Station to this party. We got bags, we got luggage, everything. So she's sitting in the back seat, and then I'm still in there saying goodbye to everyone, saying, "Oh, see you, mate. Yeah, see you next year, blah, blah, blah." And so leave her waiting there maybe 2 minutes. Walk into the car, vacuum of space silence. I go, hey, how we doing? She said, I think I've accidentally offended the driver. I didn't mean to. I think we're in trouble. I went, oh no, what did you do? What happened? She goes, I was going to come in and get you, and I said, do you mind if I leave my stuff here? Is that okay? And he's clearly at the end of a 24-hour shift. And he went, what, you think you can't trust me? You think I'm going to leave all of you? You think I'm going to steal all of your stuff? You have all of my details? What the hell? Had a meltdown at her.
Great.
Full-scale meltdown.
Great.
Deafening yells to the point where she had to open the door because her ears were hurting. It was insane.
Great.
I get into that. And then I go,
that's awesome.
I go, sorry, mate. Are you okay? Do we have a problem or what's happening? I'm sorry. Well, I'm just sort of catching up on this. So sort of detective style, piecing this together, like a true crime podcast week by week.
This is True Detective season 4.
Right. And then
because it has been steadily getting worse.
Yeah.
This seems like
this
a
is
nice,
it. This checks out.
We can get 12 episodes out of this guy trying to find out what happened to his wife while he was in the Juno.
And so I gave this guy the biggest tip I've ever given anyone, purely out of guilt.
Wow, so you gave him what people normally tip someone?
Yeah, exactly. You know how cheap I am, so I gave him the regular amount.
You gave him
what is expected?
No, what did you?
No, I
what
got
did you
Sophie
tip
to
him?
pay
What
him
did you
what
tip
was
him?
expected.
Yeah, what did you tip him, and then how much did you Venmo request from your wife?
It's automated at this point. It's an automated payment that comes out.
It's
a weekly payment. What makes you think the Uber payment doesn't already come out of her account?
Yeah.
So yeah, I said, I'm so sorry. I'm sure she didn't mean anything by it, but he was inconsolably angry.
Really?
Furious. And we're zipping down the FDR, just
He was really driving angry.
Furious.
That's Sopranos driving.
That's exactly how to describe it.
Yeah.
Sopranos driving. And I was genuinely in fear for my life. So I'm like, tipped him an absurd amount of money. And it was guilt tipping. It's guilt tipping.
Yeah,
and I'm sure, and I know that people did
I
this at
did
your
this a lot,
Bucks night. People guilt tip all the time for how horrendous they feel they behaved.
What? How bad did we behave?
No, I mean, I think I tipped the taxi driver home from your Bucks night a little bit much just because I was very embarrassed by how I conducted myself.
Oh, I wasn't in that car.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where I was like, you know what? This guy doesn't deserve this. He's just doing his job.
Doing his job. Right.
Here I am singing Katy Perry out loud.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So guilt tipping. So instead of the app saying like, how much do you want to tip? How guilty are you about this trip? Is the question that ought to be asked.
I like that.
In the app. Now, I don't know if it's a stand-up bit. I don't know if it's a mad gag. I'd like it to be a New Yorker cartoon somehow, or a Daily Shout, or something.
Do you know what the shame is?
What's the shame?
It's a great line item on a receipt, which is the asshole tax.
Oh, is that already a thing?
I know. I don't know.
Because tipping, as you know, you and I have discussed, is obviously new to us as far as being a part of everyday transactions. But the guilt
I tell you what,
tip-
you go back to Australia, you're a god at that first meal.
Oh boy!
Because you forget you don't tip.
Oh,
and so you're like, so what do I give them? $40?
Yeah, right.
And you put it over, and they're, oh my God, sir, thank you. Before you go, we'd like to get you and your table a round of drinks. You didn't have to do that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they staple it to the wall,
and then you're on your way out, and someone goes, "What did you say something to them?" Or I said, "No, I just gave them a tip. Just tipped them 20% on the bill." They're like, "No!" Australians are like, what? Australians finding out that you tipped. It's like watching Samuel L. Jackson as a detective watching a car explode with a child in it. Like, no! Why did you do that?
That's amazing.
You could have taken me.
You know what to do with that is to just say rate, review, and subscribe. Please. Yeah. That's all you need to do at the end of that situation. All right. Now, lastly but not leastly, very much leastly. Well, two more. Can I do two more? Very quickly. Quick.
On the proviso, you never use the term leastly.
It's not a word. Not a word. First one is a drug dealer in an alleyway.
Yeah.
And he's holding it and he's doing the deal. And then the caption is, swipe or chip.
I don't.
Now, swipe or chip is I hear it every day now because chips. Australia has a fantastic banking system, and we've had the chip for about 10 years.
No, the tap. It's the tap.
We've had PayWave since 2012, but in America, it's pretty old-fashioned. They still use checks. The chip is new. PayWave is brand spanking new. It's a new system, and everyone is asking chip or swipe. And no one's done a New Yorker cartoon about it yet. Now, I say that no one's had one published.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it hasn't been pitched. I don't know if they've hit peak chip or swipe and they've bought them all and never ran them. I don't know. I just want to put it out there.
The
Chip
drug
or
dealer
swipe.
thing is...
I mean, I used that. I think I said drug dealer, and I also said like 3 or 4
Homeless
different.
or-
Yeah. Chip or swipe, homeless guy, whatever it is, chip or swipe as a tag to a bunch of different scenarios. I just wanted to run it through the duels meter before I threw it in the bin.
There's something about it that seems a bit like the Bitcoin-y.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then I Googled it and no one had done it. And I thought, oh, it's untapped. But maybe it's because it's hack. I don't know. You never know.
I don't think it's hack. I think it's... Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be more
I think
absurd.
it needs some
Once
more
removed.
absurdity because you will buy stuff. Like, you can Venmo a drug dealer now.
Once
like,
removed.
that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
So I've heard. Yeah.
So, so I am.
Yeah. This is the guy with the Radiohead tattoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on. But it was one of those things that I think it's a shame to lose that tag because I love a short tag. Chip or swipe is as good as keep it open or gross. Because that's people, it used to be debit or credit. And as one of the comedians in New York used to have a bit about every clerk in Dwayne Reed used to be like, Davis or Kravis? All that chewing gum. But yeah, debit or credit. Now it's chip or swipe. I don't know. There's something there. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but there's something in that. I don't know what it is.
I'm just thinking very literally like a golfer chipping and then someone dressed as a burglar, like chip and swipe.
Oh, one of my favorite, I think Maddie Dye had one of the great cartoons, which is a Marie Kondo reference, which is a burglar holding a toaster around a bunch of other things that he's about to steal, but he's still in the house. And he goes, do I need it? Does it bring me joy?
Oh,
Isn't that a great joke?
Very good.
It's such a good joke. That one is
what a
one of the
joke.
all-time. That's a calendar
What a
cartoon.
joke.
It's a great joke.
That's a great joke.
But he's wearing his little black eye mask and he's
like a little
stripy
raccoon.
top.
Yeah.
Is there anything more suspicious than a guy in a stripy top and a
Yeah.
black mask? Yeah, it's pretty great. Okay, and
Chip
then
or swipe,
yeah,
Let's come back to that.
Yeah.
I think there's certainly something
I want
there.
to plant that seed and then come back
Yeah.
in January and go, what did you come up with chip or swipe? Because I know it's going to haunt you.
No, yeah, well,
Chip or swipe. And then you're going
Yeah.
to hear it somewhere and go,
that's
God.
the joke.
yeah, right. And then lastly but not leastly, I'm just saying that to piss you off at this point. You mentioned something earlier, and it just sparked something in my brain. And it's a guy with a cut-off plaid vest,
I'll take it.
but he's in, and behind you can see the Space Needle, and you can see a Starbucks, and it's just a guy. And the caption is, "Sleepless in Seattle." You know why I put these ones in.
That's so good. That's so good. I love that. I mean,
You know what he looks like too.
I know exactly
You
what he
know
looks
what
like.
he looks like.
Yeah. Well, listen. Spoiler alert. That doesn't get sold.
Spoiler alert,
But
it gets pitched.
It gets pitched
Yeah.
and put on my fridge.
Every time.
Sleepless in Seattle. That's so fucking shit.
Because I saw for the first time in my life, I saw Sleepless in Seattle this last week. Because it's a Christmas movie. I didn't realize it's a Christmas movie. And you don't realize that. And I watched it and I was like, this is ridiculous. This whole film is hilarious. And then I misheard Sophie say, let's watch Sleepless in Seattle. And I was like, what is that?
That's so good.
It sounds like a Portlandia sketch.
Yeah.
So Sleepless in Seattle, it's going to be drawn. I'm warning you. I'm going to pitch
so
it.
good.
We need to wrap up, but I do want to do
Let's do
some
a couple of listener
suggestions.
suggestions. Can we just say before we do the listener suggestions, thank you very much to everyone who has pitched over the course of the year.
Yes.
And because this is the end of the year
Tis.
thing, so you can probably hear we're a bit slurry now. But thank you very much because they're very, very good
So
suggestions, really funny ones that we haven't been able to get to. And peace to Junkie and I think a few other people. Oh my God, Chatfield, put your glasses on.
Ah,
You look so drunk.
I know. No, I'm just an old man. And I have terrible
he's
vision.
Squinting with one eye open, looking at a mobile phone.
I had a bright mobile phone too.
Yeah, peace to Junkie and all the other people that put us on their best podcasts at 2018 list. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very nice of you. Yeah, and obviously, if you want to send,
It's very nice of me to thank people for quite frankly stating the truth. Ours was one of the best podcasts of 2018, and will be for 20. Listen, if your publication missed out on putting us in 2018, you're a dickhead.
That's on you.
But it's you got 2019 to chase the fucking dragon.
And can I shout out to one of the best piece of advice I got this year at the New Yorker, which I know you already hold this view, but I had to learn it, is the biggest mistake. This is all right. So it came from Sam Gross, who is a demigod, in the pantheon of New Yorker cartoonists. We're at lunch with Clang, Gus Van Sant, and he said at this lunch, "I'll tell you this: the worst thing you can do is write cartoons for the New Yorker." And I went, "I'll stop you there. You've made a career out of that." He goes, "That's not what I mean." He said, "Make what you think is funny, and if they want to buy it, great. If they don't, fuck them." That's what he said. And that's good advice. Because I think
the times that we have veered into that realm,
yes,
we've had our asses handed to us.
Agreed.
The times that we've stayed to things that we think are funny,
that's
and
when we sell.
Conversations about well, what are we trying to say here?
Right.
Where are the are there teeth in this joke?
Right.
Because if not, let's fuck it off.
And as I say, you've always had
the
this.
Ones that have been interesting.
Right.
But there have been times that we have fallen into that trap and both been incredibly disheartened by it.
Right. See, but in the sense that instead of just kowtowing to, they seem to be buying a lot of this lately.
Yeah, precisely.
That's a big mistake, he said. Just whatever you think is funny. And that's, I think, to our credit, everything we've sold this year has been what we thought was funny.
We think is funny. Yeah.
Which I think is a fantastic... And with that, one of my favourite Sam Gross cartoons that I've seen this year is Doggy Heaven. Dogs talking. You read the caption at the Pearly Gates.
Pearly Gates, dog at a desk. A lot of dogs there.
St. Peter dog. This ran in the New Yorker, by the way. Let it be known.
So there's a dog at the St. Peter dog is there, but he's at a desk in front of the Pearly Gates. There's angel dogs flying around him and a queue of dogs behind.
Yep.
And the dog who's at St. Peter in inverted commas is saying, "Is there any chance of getting my testicles back?" What a joke. That's great.
Just look up Sam Gross cartoonist and you're welcome. All right, so the first suggestion this week comes to us. And by the way, I didn't mention this before, but if you do want to send in a suggestion, send them to jasonchatfieldcomedy@gmail.com, or you can DM them to me on Instagram @JasonChatfield. Heads up, I'm only checking Instagram every couple of days because I no longer have it on my phone. So,
one of me.
Yeah. Is there something...
Ashika can be in charge of that account as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can I just give you my password and you can deal with it? Okay. Here's one. It's from Michael in Perth. Is there something in this? A teacher leaning over a small student in a classroom, helping him learn to write his name with a crayon. Teacher saying, "That's right, little Timmy. Work hard and never give up. And one day, you could even be labelled individual one in federal court papers." Is there anything in that? I think he's edging towards a daily for that one.
Yeah, I think we might have missed the boat on that.
Did we miss the boat on individual one?
It's very wordy.
It is wordy, but that's our joy.
It's not a bad idea as a template, though, is it? If you work hard, you can.
You too could one day. Because parents and teachers do often say, one day you could be president. That's the American dream, right? It's one of the American dreams is that anyone could be president. Clearly, no matter what. So,
what about the flip side of it being like the teacher going, "Oh, you don't need to know this. Your parents are rich." Like that kind of
okay.
You don't need to know how to read. It's fine. You got a trust fund.
Yeah, that's about. Have you seen?
I just checked your trust fund. You're fine.
His problem, he can't. A smoking gun. He's smocking. He calls it SMO.
Yeah, he made that. Yeah, he misspelled smoking.
Twice, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't a typo. Yeah. He literally thinks that's right. All right, can I suggest an idea? Is there something in this? Probably not. Oh, don't. Just
believe in yourself.
Should probably submit a cartoon myself, but I can't draw to save my life, so here you go. Record label executive. Now, have we had this something similar? Have you pitched this to me? I want to see this. Record label executive sits at a desk and tells the band standing before him, "Oh, and once you've broken America, do you mind putting it back together again?" Did we pitch that before?
I haven't heard that joke.
Okay. Is there nothing in that?
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head, top of my head, is if he's there and it's not even a very good joke, but the record company executive, he sat at his desk and behind him are a bunch of horses and a bunch of guys all dressed in kind of like royal like beefeater things.
Right.
And once you've broken America, all the king's horses and all the king's men will put it back to you.
See, that's better. There's something in that.
It's not very good, though.
But it's, I mean, all right, sorry about that. All right. Now,
that's sort of like my joke isn't very good.
No.
Is what I'm saying. Like that's not.
I don't know. I never throw them out because I don't know where you would go with it. There's something, and I don't know what it is.
I do like the idea, you've broken America.
Right. You might find something in this. Dane Falke says, Chatto, is there something... No, he's just addressed me.
Straight into Chatto.
Bit
of friendship level jump there.
But I don't even know this guy, but I love him. Is there something in a guy adopting a dog... And I'm picturing like a feral dog, like a loud, barking, horrible feral dog, and saying to someone, "No, I just really love picking up shit, and I hate my neighbors."
That should be the sales pitch.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There it is. Look at you. There we are. Yeah. I did have one that I was going to pitch, and it's kind of underbaked, but I'll throw it out here.
Go on.
It's a dog talking to another dog in a dog park. I'm picturing like Tompkins Square Park.
Yep.
The small dog section.
So for people that don't know, in New York, there are little kind of rope, like fenced off areas that are dog runs within parks.
Yeah.
And the dogs go in there and go bananas. Like they have the best time. They're just running around, they're sniffing each other, and they're getting in fights and they're fucking around. It's just so much fun. Yeah.
It is one of my favorite things to do. It's
great. Yeah. It's unbridled joy.
And it's two dogs.
And all of the people in there only know each other by the dog's name.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, that's Jason.
Right.
He's Rover's dad.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, he doesn't even know Jason. He's just Rover's dad.
That's Rover's dad.
Yeah. Right.
Where's Jamiroquai's mum? They seem to be playing.
Mum. Yeah. He doesn't have a mum. He came from a spaceship. Anyway, so it's two dogs talking, and they're saying to each other of their owners sitting on the bench clearly behind them is, at this point, I'm just happy to get him out of the house.
I don't mind that.
Something like that. Or I just want to get him socializing. I'm just happy he's talking to someone. Or I'm just happy he's out socializing. The reason it's half baked at the moment, I don't know what the line is, but it's the dog saying what the owner would usually say about the dog. Yeah. At this point, I just want him to get along with the other dog owners, or something like that. Boil away on that one. There's something there. I don't know what it is.
Is there something in like before he met your master? I don't want to tell you what the highlight of his day was.
That's funny. That's funny. Dogs knowing what
knowing like he's picking up my shit.
You wouldn't believe the shit this guy did. That's not bad, actually. I might actually just throw that in as that's funny. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of like...
Yeah, no, because it's actually, that works just as a gag. It's simple, it works, it's funny.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe what he did before he met your master. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, let's put that in. Again, we work so hard on all these little jokes, and then the offhanded ones probably end up getting sold. The last one is from Humans of New York Subway.
Oh, right.
There we go. I'm going to try and send one every few days. Got to be bad to get good. So let it be known.
No, that's true. No, that's absolutely true.
Right.
Yes.
It's volume. A funeral home director.
Yeah.
But he's
speaking, my family. Yeah.
Right. Yes. This is, I don't know how he knows this. She, whomever, talking to someone has the disposition of a used car salesman.
Yeah. Which I think is already very good.
Right. That's coffins all around him of all kinds, gold, mahogany, trim, everything, right?
Something about a sleazy funeral home director.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, very funny.
Talking to a potential customer, go, what do I have to do to get you in one of these today?
Yeah, no, I can see that coming. Yeah.
That's great though, isn't it? There's something there. There's something in a sleazy funeral director.
They're all well-worn jokes.
Yeah,
that kind of thing of
what do I have to do to get you one of these today?
Yeah.
Can I get a down payment? Is there something?
I used to do stand-up on this.
I'm sure this is first year stand-up.
First year of stand-up.
Funeral director gear.
Funeral director work.
Yeah. Family business.
Family business.
The old
I
man.
always think about my dad drumming up business down at the local pub, being like,
Don't take a taxi. Drive.
Oh, you drive? Yeah, that.
Right.
Yeah.
Classic.
What do you mean you don't smoke? You should try it. Take it up.
come on.
That kind of stuff.
Have my pack. Yeah.
The idea, though, the kernel of this sleazy funeral
car
director.
salesman, funeral director, or used to do something else. Now a funeral director. I think that's mapping another thing
I always
onto
think
funeral
like
director. It's very dark.
I'm
but
putting
yeah.
fun into funeral is always something that I think
Yeah.
is very.
I've literally seen that.
No, you would have seen it
in New York City.
Yeah.
There is a banner. It's like a sign that says "We put the fun into funerals." You'd be.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad
something
joke.
in that. Yeah.
It's not. It's a bit A to B, right?
Yeah. It needs to go A to C. We need to surprise the reader, but there's definitely a kernel in there.
Yeah. No.
What do I have to do to get you
and
into one of
heading
these
in the
things?
right direction? That person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for someone who clearly spends a
was
lot of
like-
time in the New York subway, very dark joke. But
Do you know that
yeah.
my thing has always been? I've always wanted to be in one of those like hot people of the subway, like.
Oh no,
Hot dudes reading, like that
Are
kind
you
of
not
thing.
on that already?
No, I'm not on that. I'm not hot enough.
No, but on the L, I mean, you're L train hot. You're Don't you think it's L train hot?
What line aren't I hot on?
The F.
You don't think I'm hot on the F?
No, Uptown F. Yeah,
Uptown F?
yeah, past 42nd. That's a
Fuck
whole,
outta here.
dude. That's a whole bunch of genetic engineering gone fantastically well. You don't want to fuck with the fucking Uptown F.
I'm dressing up. I'm going up there. I just bought.
In a three-piece.
I just bought. Yeah, I just bought a pair of Prada shoes.
Okay.
I'm going up there.
And you've got a tailored
I
suit,
got
no
a
doubt.
tailored suit. I got
Oh,
tailored
bow tie?
suits. I'm not gonna wear a bow tie.
I'm wearing a bow tie to your wedding.
No,
Should
of
I
course.
not?
It's a black tie wedding.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's dark navy, but go on.
Hey,
Yeah. We
it's our last episode.
Yeah,
This is it.
for
We're
2018.
finished.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We've done all right.
Next year, we're going to be back.
Yes.
February.
February.
We're doing a live show.
Absolutely.
With a film star.
Massive film star.
Massive film star.
International
Has
movie
sa-
star.
Has already said he's going to do it.
Signed on to the live
He's
fight.
in New York.
Yep.
Be happy.
Yep.
Also,
Okay, Humphrey B. Bear.
hey, you didn't talk.
That's true. All right.
Also,
Yeah.
I got cigarettes in there.
Yeah, go on then. All right. Well, happy wedding to Scott and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you
thank
guys
you very much
in
for listening.
2019.
We appreciate it.
All right, see ya.